Hello, my name is Stephanie Toman and I'm running the Postgraduate International Certificate of Digital Literacy. The two modules that I'll be talking about will be the Big Data module and the other one is the Data Analytics. So these are ICDL certificates with the added value as part of your course at Coventry University. So what I'd like to do on this particular video today is to look at the learning part of it. So you've registered, and there are videos on that. So you've registered correctly, you've clicked on enroll, you can see your module, and then what we're going to do is go into both of the data analytics and the big data to see how we go about learning when we get there. Okay, so we're going to go and have a look at the data analytics module first, and then we'll have a look at the big data. So either skip this if you're on the big data or just sit with it because it won't be long. Okay, so we're going to have a look at the actual skill box itself. So we just jump to there. So if I just show you the skill box at the beginning before we go into the learning materials, you can see this is what you will see when you go in and register correctly. You should see that you have got a module, you have got some learning resources, etc. So here's your learning resources, here's your ebook. So let's go in and have a quick look. I'm just going to go in there and have that. So you can see that we've got, this is on the page where you've got all of the different things that you will be learning. You can click to different things. So you can see that at the end of each of these exercises, they will have some review exercises. So we can click and go and have a look at one of those. So you can move around quite quickly. You can either go down as you do with ebooks and type in 55, for example, enter, and then it will take you to there. So you can move around, but probably the best thing to do is work through it if you're not too sure about some of the areas, and make sure that when you do reach them that you are understanding what they're talking about and you're not assuming anything. So we go back to page 5. Just to point out, let's go back another couple to become, well, it's coming on to here. Just near the front, you can see right at the bottom of the page, I'm just hovering on it, click here to download the student folder. So your student folder will have all of the Excel files that you need, the Power BI files that you need, that will ask you to open or to do something with them. Note in here you have a, for example, if you had an Excel file, you asked to open purchases, you will always see that there's a solution one along below it or above it. So be aware of that, and what it will show you is what it's expecting from at the end of actually doing the correct actions to get there. So you're following the instructions. It's giving you a helping hand by seeing how it should look. It's not telling you how to do it. So just be aware of that. So that's using the materials. Like I said, they're quite extensive, as you can see. You've got a syllabus at the end, so if we click here, you can actually see the syllabus in here that I also have sent you, but it is in there if you forget, and it's there. And also you've got, if you come back here, you've got some of the final exercises that you can do. There's quite a lot of them. Notice that you've got Excel in here and you've got Power BI, so you need to have an element of both. Power BI is available on the office.com. If you go onto office.com, onto the university site, and go into apps at the very bottom on the left-hand side, open it up, and you search for Power BI, you will have access to the desktop version. Everything you need to do this test. Okay, we don't need anything like a pro or otherwise, we just need the desktop version and the services version. Okay, that's free. As I said, I've also got the syllabus, which I've sent to you, so that's another way of looking at it. And if we go into the so this is another way of looking at and overviewing the data analytics in the form of a fact sheet. But I've also done a version where you've got, let's have a look, see if we can find this one where you've got the latest PowerPoint slides. So I'm just bringing that up. So that's also available. So that fact sheet that we're looking at from behind, that is actually the same as this. Okay. So you can see that you've got a number of things going on there. And if we go back to skill box and back to the beginning, we're actually going to move on now to the big data. So back in here, I'm going back into my, because I've got more than one, I'm overviewing things. So if I'm going to do big data, this is what I will see. I will go in and click on there. Very similar, each of the packages have their own view, sort of learning, and you can see that you've got learning resources here, which is e-learning. They will show when you're in progress, they'll show you complete. You can see up here, I haven't done any diagnostics, etc. But like I said, we're concentrating on the learning today. There will be a video for the next stage. So in here, I click on something like this, and it will bring up the big data I can run through. It's something you can listen to, watch. There's lots of different varieties of stuff in here, variations of things. And you will find that if you go into, if we just go back to the top again, in the menu on the top left hand side just here, you can actually see exactly what we're going through. And if you go through something and you've worked through it, you will get to a stage where there will be some key stages. You've got more going on here to look at, so you can see that there's quite a lot going on with these extra sections within it, and it's moving down here at the same time. Or you can jump into these and get through. So this is still on unit 1, talking about some more things. And then if you go to this one at the bottom there, it's just struggling to go there. You've got knowledge check just here, so you can go in and you can do some questions just to reiterate to yourself that you picked up the terminology, you understand what these things mean. This is a multiple choice test, so it's very much about terminology, so make sure that you have a good understanding in those areas. And then you've got like key terms, things that you may not have thought about, so you've got that again. And then further reading, which you probably, if you really want to do, you can, but there should be enough going on in here for you to learn enough. What I've also done is I've got a document. I'm just going to throw it onto the screen. This is something that I've created from that e-learning, and this is the document format of exactly the same thing. So if you're the sort of person, if I click and I click on there, it'll take me to there, and you can see that I can run through it in the same way. So if you can't access e-learning for whatever reason, or you find it taxing the way that you learn, then this is another way of using it. So you may not be the sort of person that does online learning as well as having it set out in front of you. You could print this off, you can read it as a document, you can put notes on it, whichever way helps you to get that information simulated and able to be tested on it and answer the test questions. This is what your goal is. There are some dates coming out with regard to the start and finish of this, but for now we're concentrating on the learning. And when you get to the end of the learning and you do feel that you've practiced and you feel really strong, then the next stage will be taking a online practice test. So that's going to be the next video. I hope this has helped you to understand what to do. There's lots of different things you can use, lots of different ways of learning the same thing, and getting that information simulated so that you can pass a test. Okay, remember your test when you do come to it, 75% and above. So if you start thinking about that, that's a sort of 3/4, if you like, is just your pass point of all of this learning. So it gives you an idea of how much you have to do. Any help, any needs, just let us know. As I said, if you need help, you can either contact us on these emails. We've also got general inquiries that you may have received some stuff from. Also, we've got our drop-ins, so you can come on Mondays, it's 1 o'clock till 2, and Wednesdays it's 12 till 2, and they both happen in ECG 36 in the EEC building, Engineering Computing. So we'd love to see you. We've met quite a few of you so far, so it's lovely for you to come along. It helps to build up a report and helps you to get a gist of things if you're not quite sure. So remember, we are there to help you. and you can get us through email. And if you aren't on the university campus, let us know, and we can do another way of contacting you if necessary. So I hope that's helped the learning area. So the next video I'm going to do is going to be on the diagnostic for when you get to that stage. Okay, thank you for listening and take care. Bye bye.